Hey everyone, welcome to Two Guys One Fantasy with your hosts Brandon Kluge and Tyler Richardson, where we give you the most mediocre fantasy football advice, along with NFL news, updates, scores, and standings.
Yo, yo, yo. It's me. It's him. It's him. It's me.
Two Guys One Fantasy. After the live breaking news?
No.
Oh. After our fantasy football draft.
That was fun.
And right before Thursday night football.
You're getting information today, finally, for the NFL season.
I can't explain the excitement that I'm going through the last few days.
Yeah. Did the fantasy draft Friday.
Yes.
And then Thursday night football kicks it off Thursday.
So I can taste it. I can taste it on my tongue.
And we got a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think
I like this game.
I like it too.
So I think.
But we're going to talk about that in a second.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Let's talk about our fantasy football draft. We had everyone show up to your garage except Josh because he's saving America.
11 or 12 people.
And what a freaking blast, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I think everybody enjoyed it for sure.
You get to see with the video on YouTube as well, like just a couple bits and pieces of like how people were reacting to certain picks.
Yeah.
And it's so much better than doing it online because it's so much funnier to hear specifically John freak out about every single thing.
Yeah. I know there was I think it was when Lainey took Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins. She picked him. And then just John in the background.
Damn it. Yeah, you just hear him cuss in the background. You don't even see him.
It was even when he took CMC, I was just, not that I was mad he took CMC.
Yeah.
That's what I figured would happen.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready for my decision. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, and then everyone was like, oh, your draft is ruined.
That was it. No, it wasn't bad. Everyone enjoyed it. We had a newbie for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Brett's never played, and
he doesn't really watch NFL.
I don't even know if Alan's played, but Alan watches NFL every now
He
and then.
told me that he's played one league
Okay.
ever, but he said he really enjoyed it, so he was pretty pumped about being in our league.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But
for the first time, it was pretty. Yeah,
I recommend it.
Yeah, I would. If you haven't done one, do it. I said that in the YouTube video, but for sure,
yeah,
do it.
And if you're looking for like a draft kit that comes with stuff, we got a little setup back here with some of this stuff, including our trophies and stuff. Fantasypros.com. That's where I got mine, and it worked, and it was pretty awesome. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, don't touch it.
If you guys didn't see, I showed the overall trophy.
Yeah.
The winner, what they get, but they also get this cool little banner.
Yeah.
That'll get lost for sure.
Yeah, well.
Then we got a last place plaque.
Yep.
So don't suck or you get the plaque, which is still pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you get your little license plate, outliner. I don't know what you actually call those things.
And it says loser. I don't know. Border? License plate border?
Sure. Calling somebody a loser. We didn't use the flag for anything, but it's there.
It's decorative.
Yeah.
But highly recommend.
Yeah. A live draft is fun.
The only thing that sucked about it was our Patriot in Arms. He had to auto draft.
Yeah. If he would have been there, it would have been definitely a lot better. Would have probably shook the draft up just a little more.
Absolutely. Because he knows football.
Right.
And he likes fantasy football.
Yep.
So him auto drafting, we tried to keep it as fair as possible for him to help him out a little bit. But the best thing we could do was just kind of auto draft for him. Sorry, Josh, if it's not the team you wanted, but this is your fault. Josh, like you wanted to go.
I don't know. Did he sign up for this?
I don't know if did he.
I don't know.
Did he sign up for the league?
Well, he signed up for the league.
He hasn't paid yet.
No, he'll pay.
I know.
Yeah. It was good, though. It was easy with Sleeper, if nobody uses Sleeper. I don't know if ESPN does it or not, but Sleeper, I was able to pretty much put everybody's pick in for them.
Yeah.
did some testing with Tom. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
So that was good. We were able to. All you had to do was click on the pick, and
Yeah.
I could trade the pick,
Yeah.
auto pick the pick, or I pick whoever everybody needed. So it worked out.
Yeah,
Nobody
there
had
was-
to use their phone.
Yeah.
To do anything.
The responsibility of like physically drafting your person was specifically just on you.
Yeah.
To do it on the computer, so everyone else could basically focus on just doing it in person on the board and having fun. But it wasn't too much, was it?
It was good until about round 12
Uh-oh.
of 15.
Why?
Well, when you're 12 beers deep, people start saying names, and then there's no idea. I was like,
We could have switched. I was sober.
I was already there. It was too late.
Gotcha.
And then I had to
You
pee.
were committed.
Sometimes I had to pee.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Say goodnight to the kids.
Not that it was hard, but it wasn't. It was easy.
Okay.
Easy to do. Fun.
Yeah. So our plan before we get to the Thursday night football game is we are going to do top 7 seed predictions for our league.
Right. So
We're probably going to piss a couple people off.
good.
You already told me there's a good chance someone in this room could be upset.
Could be. Guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, I guess we will.
12 teams,
Yeah.
3 divisions,
Mm-hmm.
4 teams per division.
Yes.
Top 2 in each division go to the playoffs,
Yeah.
and then the best third place team
Overall from the remaining
overall
teams.
from the remaining teams
Yeah.
also makes the playoffs.
Which that means, because people might be confused because that's 7 teams.
Right.
The best overall record, like the number 1 seed,
Right.
doesn't matter what division you are. If you're the number 1 seed,
Yep.
you get a bye week in the
Bye week.
playoffs. Sorry.
So then second place will play 7th, third place 6th, 4th, and 5th.
Yep.
Boom. It's going to work.
Yeah. So let's go. We'll go back and forth real quick, and we'll go our 7. We'll do a countdown to the number 1 seed.
So 7.
Because let me be honest,
Okay. Now,
5 through 7 was really hard.
5 through
For-
7. For me, it was the second and third place teams.
Really? 1
First
through
place
4 were fairly easy to me. Not like super easy. Just like I took a little time to find out 1 through 4, but it was 5 through 7 where I was like, "Ooh, man, it could go any which way."
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
tough. I have a feeling we're about to be really different. I don't know
think so?
why. It'll just be different.
All right, who's your number 7?
My number 7. So the best of the third place team, the best of the rest.
Yeah, yeah, the wild
The
card
wild
spot.
card person.
Yeah.
I picked myself.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, look at me. This is about to get wild.
All right.
My number 7 is Walker.
Okay.
All right, who's your 6?
My 6 is Lainey.
Okay.
So I got her
What
getting.
the hell?
I got her getting second place in her division.
Okay. My number 6 is CT.
Okay. Okay. So my number 5, second place in another division, is John.
Okay. My number 5 is me.
Okay. Second place. Okay.
No, it would be first
wait,
place
that
in the
would-
division because I'm with CT.
Oh, you are with CT.
Now, with that being said, that's where 5 through 7, I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't make playoffs.
Yeah.
But I can't not put myself in playoffs.
Right.
So I put myself at 5.
My last. So I got another second place team. I just went pretty much 1-1-1.
I got you.
Whatever.
I got you.
I got Walker
At 4?
at 4.
Okay. I got Caldwell at 4.
Okay. And then I got Caldwell at 3.
Oh. I have Dylan at 3.
Okay. At 2. So Caldwell was first in his division. The first place team in this division I have is CT.
Okay. Man, I'm not even making playoffs in yours. It's tough.
It is.
My number 2 seed is Laney.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait until you hear my number 1.
My number 1 is Dylan.
My number 1 is you.
How about that? I looked at it. It's tough because I was sitting out there staring at that board.
I think,
and I was okay with my team. I like my team.
So there's a couple teams, even, I don't want to call them bad teams, but there are a couple of teams that were just missing a few pieces because of whether it be experience or the auto draft.
Yeah.
Sorrow, Josh. It was slightly easier to kind of push them aside.
Yeah.
But when it came to seeds 5 through 7, I can see. I think CT to me has a weaker team that's still able to get into the playoffs. John was another one that John definitely could be in 5 through 7 seeding in mine. Allen, I was thinking about Allen, even though he's not very experienced. But my top 4 teams, you, Laney, Dylan, and Caldwell, to me, have so much strength on the roster that even with your weakness, I don't think it affects your team that much.
Yeah, it was tough. I was out there.
You put yourself last?
I did.
Let me look at your team.
I like John's team, and I really like Dylan's team too.
Dylan's team is really strong. The only thing that I think hurts him is his bye week 13.
Right.
But I also think it's one of those, because he's in your division, right?
It's me, Dylan, John,
Yeah.
and Hopkins.
That's a tough division.
Even putting me at 3 was even tough. I almost put myself out.
Really?
Because Hopkins got a good team too.
I see.
It was between me and Hopkins, I feel like, for the 3rd place.
I mean,
And that's what I went with.
I think the reason why, I don't have John in there is because he has a couple of players that they're question marks.
Yeah.
Like when they're good, but like Aaron Jones, he's got Aaron Jones. He's losing touches to A.J. Dillon. I like Aaron Jones, but it's just like one of those situations where you can't count on him all of the time.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel. I love Deebo Samuel, but he's on an offense that knows how to spread the ball really well, and that means he's not going to eat sometimes.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts. I really like him, but is he going to eat with Desmond Ridder? Is he going to be healthy?
Yeah.
So
it was tough.
All right. So, yeah, that's why I couldn't. John had. It's not that he has a bad team. There's just a lot of question marks on it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Your team. Let me go to your team.
I went with the give me all the wide receivers.
You have the best wide receiving core, in my opinion. Dylan has a really good one. But all 4 of yours, you could play, and they're going to eat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Scary Terry, Olave, Waddle. Who's on your bench? It's freaking Tyler Lockett. Are you kidding me? And then Austin Eckler, and then J.K. Dobbins, who could eat. But if he doesn't, you have Jamal Williams, who's a touchdown machine. So it doesn't even matter.
It could work.
And then Tua, if he passes out in the middle of the season, you got Russell Wilson, who I think is in a redemption season. I think your team is the strongest. Even with the weak points, boom, you plug in another strong point. I love your team.
Well, week 1 I play Dylan, so we'll find
out.
We'll find out. Yeah. Not that projections matter.
No.
I am projected to lose by 16.
Yeah.
Which I was like, yeah.
It's pretty wild how I was looking at some of the matchups, and there's a whole bunch of matchups that are projected the differentiation. Is that a word?
Good enough.
Okay. It's like
Differential
point, whatever.
Sure.
It's like 20 points for some of the matchups. I'm like, holy,
I think
calm
they'll
the
be closer.
fuck down.
Yeah. Projections they get a little wild sometimes. Like Dylan's middle linebacker, Nick Bolton,
Yeah.
they got him projected to get like
32
25 points.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, dang.
What team does Nick Bolton play for?
The Chiefs.
There's no fucking way.
We'll find out, but you never know.
But I'm excited. I'm in the same boat as you, though. Like, looking at my team, I get nervous. I really easily could have not put myself in the top 7 seed.
I was the same way, though. It's tough. I feel like I'm in the toughest division.
Absolutely.
Because I got 4 people that play
and no.
And no.
The only thing, and Hopkins, I know he's going to hear me, and I know that he was slightly inebriated when we were talking about it after the draft. He was saying things that I was like, what are you talking about? He was talking about Laney's team. He was talking about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
He was like, ooh. He's like, that's a pretty bad pick. And I was like, he's consistent in fantasy. He does good.
He's really good in fantasy, I think.
So, but Hopkins, he was like, yeah, if you want a quarterback that loses. I was like, I don't give a shit about if he loses or wins. I care about fantasy points.
Yeah.
And then he stumbled somewhere. I was like, Hopkins, what are you talking about?
I don't need the win-loss. I just need the
Points.
touchdowns.
Points.
We'll see. He's been good in fantasy so far. You never know. Maybe Hopkins knows something.
He might be one of those, like,
maybe he falls up. Maybe this is the year.
He's one of those people that read things in a weird way that everyone thinks is crazy, but he's right.
Yeah.
He could be one of those.
Like Sam Laporta, whatever.
Yeah.
Rookie. He weighed in on him, which was good, and he's like, I like this kid. I was like, all right.
I got to respect that because a lot of people don't take the risk on players that would fall or rookies or whatever. And he took a couple of shots.
I like it.
But
it was a lot of fun. If you haven't done a live draft, I suggest it next year.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can do something similar again.
Next year.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Be fun.
Like, because there's only a couple of us that are moving.
Yeah, there's a few moving. I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
We'll get their ass here.
Hopefully.
We'll have them sign a contract for 2 Guys One Fantasy Incorporated.
You got to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're under contract.
There's a couple of you.
Buy it out.
Be there, be square.
There it is.
Boom. There's fantasy. There's our league. We'll see what happens. We'll be giving updates, of course.
Of course.
The year.
Oh, man, it's going to be so awesome.
Are
we ready for Thursday Night Football?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you pulling up notes.
Yeah, I have notes.
So we're going to talk about the game.
Thursday night football preview right here. I probably won't do anything here, but imagine it's there.
Hey, look at that box, right?
Oh.
I hate when YouTube videos do that.
Click on this box right here to subscribe.
Right there.
That's too
Right
much
there.
That's too much work for me.
Yeah, I ain't got time.
I had a little bit here and there. Maybe I'll add something.
All right. What about, so we're going to do, I'd say we're going to talk, I have a couple of questions about this game.
Okay.
We're going to have starts and sits.
Yep.
And then project, like, who do we think is going to win, obviously.
Yep.
And then the favorite part.
We brought it back.
Over-unders.
Over-unders.
And you asked me, you were like, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? I was like, give me your best shot.
I like it.
So, do you have any questions about this game? So, it is the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
At Super Bowl champ Kansas City Chiefs. Do you have any points that you'd like to point out before we get to the other things?
It is still Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
It is still Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same Chiefs offense.
Yeah.
They lost their offensive coordinator.
Yes.
To Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the same old business.
Andy Reid.
Because of Andy Reid.
I mean, he was probably heavily involved with the offensive calling anyway.
Right.
I do have one question about the Chiefs, but it could have been asked last year, and they did fine. Who's their number one wide receiver that's not a tight end?
Doesn't matter.
I know.
They make it work every year.
That's true. I feel like eventually something's going to give, right?
You would think.
Because,
they got to pay Mahomes and Kelsey and all that stuff.
Those are the two that they want to pay.
Okay, get rid of Tyreek. We can just find these random dudes off of eBay.
Yeah.
And that's who's going to play, and that's who's going to win.
Off an eBay?
Off of eBay.
All right. Yeah, I don't. It's weird to me how their offense can be so prolific.
Yeah.
And I couldn't name you their best wide receiver right now. It confuses me. Besides their tight end.
I know they got Kadarius Toney.
Oh, I do like Kadarius. He was hurt last year though, wasn't he?
And I think he's going to play this week.
Yeah.
From what I saw, but he was hurt last year.
Ooh, you just reminded me of him, so I might have to make a couple of changes. We'll see. But
yeah, Sky Moore, he's still there. And then
you need to handle that situation.
They're fine.
Let's look at the other side of the field, though. Detroit Lions.
Do
you think that people are still sleeping on them?
Yeah,
I do too.
But they should be.
Why do you say that?
No, I think they're a playoff team this year.
I think they are
That's why
too.
I picked them. I think I picked them as 7th seed. I can't remember.
No, you picked Buffalo as the 7th seed. You picked Detroit, I think, as 5th or 6th.
Whatever.
I picked them as third
They have
seed.
a chance. If they can beat the Vikings, they got a chance to obviously win the division.
Yeah.
I think it's between the Vikings and them.
Absolutely.
I like their defense. I like their offense. I guess the big question is no DeAndre Swift, no Jamal Williams. So you got the rookie, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then you got David Montgomery.
Yes. Which I think is...
So what are they going to do? That should be fine.
I actually like that combination better than Swift and
Jamal.
Jamal was a touchdown machine, and I'm really high on Jamal Williams. But Swift, there's something about Georgia Bulldog running backs, when they enter the NFL, with the exception of Nick Chubb, they don't do anything great. Swift, I like Swift, but what has he done in the NFL? Sony Michel retired. He's got like 2 Super Bowl rings, and he didn't even do anything.
Hey, that's a win.
That is. He did.
I'd take a ring any day.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
But besides Nick Chubb, I just don't see anything explosive from these other running backs. So Swift, that's why I'm not super high on him going to Philly, doing anything there. But the combination that they got in Detroit right now, I kind of like.
Yeah, we'll see if Jahmyr produces.
Yeah.
As the rookie.
Yeah. Do you want to go to start and sit? Is it time for that?
We can.
Because those were the 2 talking points that I was thinking about, was who's the Chiefs wide receiver, but then you did bring up Kadarius Toney. I do like him. And Detroit, people just sleeping on them still. But
all right.
Who do you got for
I got
your
a couple starts here.
first start?
4. Of course, they're obvious, but they have to be obvious. It's Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Can't do anything crazy week 1.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
If you have Patrick Mahomes, you're starting Patrick Mahomes.
Of course.
If you had Jared Goff, you're starting Jared Goff.
Absolutely.
Unless, you got somebody better than Jared Goff, which is fine. But I think it's an offensive game, and I think these guys will be fine.
Do you think someone picked up Jared Goff as their secondary quarterback?
I did.
Oh shit, you did?
In another league. In another league. Yeah. I picked him up as backup.
Okay, he could be good enough to be a starting quarterback.
Right. Travis Kelce,
of course,
the number 1 tight end.
Absolutely,
you're starting him every week.
Mm-hmm.
Amon St. Brown, dealing with a little injury, but nothing concerning. He's going to come out and he's going to ball out.
Yeah.
And then I said Jahmyr Gibbs.
I have Jahmyr Gibbs too.
I think you could start Pacheco. He's a 50-50, though. I'm not saying start him or sit him 100%.
Yeah.
If you need to start Pacheco, start Pacheco.
Yeah.
If you have somebody you can start over Pacheco, start him.
So I have everything is the same. I'm going to make a change because you reminded me of Kadarius Toney. Start him.
Mm-hmm.
I did have Sky Moore as a start because I didn't remember about Toney. And I think Sky Moore, they've already said in the offseason that they're really expecting him to, hey, you have to do something this season.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe they'll push that this season. But with Kadarius Toney there, I think he's the number one. So if he needs to throw to someone else besides Kelsey, I think Kadarius Toney is the main guy. So start him, and I would probably sit Sky Moore then.
Okay. So I'll disagree with you.
Oh.
I say sit Kadarius Toney.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably coming as the number one.
Okay.
But if you're just now getting him into practices right here before week 1,
yeah.
I think it's a risk versus reward type thing.
Yeah.
That's more risk than you're getting reward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to play 100% of the snaps.
Okay.
So I put sit Kadarius Toney just for that reason.
Oh. Would you start Sky Moore?
No. I'm not starting anybody that's a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I got you.
You're starting Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Patrick
all you
Mahomes,
need.
And I think you're fine. He's going to find all these receivers.
Yeah.
And so
it's kind of like a San Francisco problem, I guess.
It was tough with me to say sit Toney because he is the number one there.
Yeah.
And I do like him.
Mm-hmm.
The injury, though, you're coming off, I think it was yesterday, they were talking about, he's playing, but
yeah, might be limited.
And then you're already coming off of this injury into, I guess it's technically a short week, even though it's not.
Yeah.
But they're not practicing every day before Thursday. They're going to practice Monday and Tuesday.
Do you think it's just like a 1 week thing?
I think
by week 2, he's like, okay, you can start him.
He gets a longer break.
Yeah.
Another, 8 days after, 10 days, whatever it is after Thursday.
Yeah. Then
you look into starting him.
Okay. I still think you start him.
Okay.
So I look at it this way. It's more, is he going to get you 20 points because he's limited? Probably not.
Yeah.
Do I think he catches a touchdown and gets 2-3 receptions and between 30, 40, 50 yards?
Yeah.
I think that's still possible with him being limited, and that's still worth like above 10 points, depending on how you do your league. But I still think that's as a start while he's still limited. I'll put it out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Put those good vibes. So who else do you have as a sit?
David Montgomery.
I do too.
Just because, I don't know. Between him and Gibbs, it's tough. What are they going to do? I have no idea what they're going to do. I think Gibbs can catch the ball. I think Gibbs is going to he's definitely a starter.
I
don't
agree.
know. When you bring Montgomery in, do you bring him out on goal line? What do you do with him?
I think Montgomery. No, I think you and I are on the same page. I like Montgomery, but I think he's there possibly to do the Alexander Madison thing when Dalvin Cook was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think he's there to help Jahmyr Gibbs.
And give him
I'm
a
looking at
little break when
Jahmyr
he
Gibbs,
needs it.
and I think he's the guy there.
Yeah.
I think
That's why they drafted him.
Yeah. I also think, I was thinking about this for the last couple of days, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he has a pretty solid chance, even though neither one of us picked him, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, could be.
He's on a good enough team to help him, and he's good enough.
Yeah.
I think whoever drafted him.
Dylan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart pick, and I think he's going to start putting him as his main running back most of the time.
Yeah.
So I said sit Pacheco.
Okay.
It's always been a problem with Kansas City with the running back situation. I think they have like a Philadelphia situation where they have multiple running backs. They use them whenever they want to, but it's not as good as Philadelphia and how they do it. You'll get a couple catches from your running backs. They'll rush a little bit here and there. And I'm not saying that Pacheco won't have a great game once in a while.
Yep.
I just don't see it in this game, and I honestly don't like him as a draft pick overall. I'm not high on Pacheco, so I think you sit him in this game.
It's tough because they do shoot. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the third string running back there.
He was the first
He was
string.
the first. So, right. Could Clyde come in and see some snaps? I think he could.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they're going to, like you said, it's kind of a three-headed monster type thing.
But it's not as good.
They're not going to have they're going to have a number one, but they're going to get all three. Jerick McKinnon's the number two, so I think they're going to get.
So I think it's a situation. So, like, look at Philadelphia. They had three, right?
Yep.
But they clearly like Miles Sanders as their number one. So even though they had three, it was more recognizable that he was the number one.
Yeah.
I didn't like that, but it worked out for a few people. Kansas City, they have three, but none of them are good enough to be number one, in my opinion. So I don't like their running back situation. They've never really needed their running back situation anyway.
They had a running back with Jamal Charles. I feel like since then they've always had the
bouncing around.
Here's a couple guys here, and you never know who's going to come out for Kansas City as running back.
Yeah, they had
Because
Kareem Hunt.
They just pick whoever.
They had Kareem Hunt.
They make it work with the receivers.
Yeah.
And with the running backs. They have the two constants though.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You got any more sits?
I said sit. Sam Laporta.
Okay.
More than likely, he's a number 2 or number 3 tight end on people's teams.
Yeah.
So just play it safe and sit him this week. It's kind of the same thing with Kadarius Toney.
I got you.
Let him feel it out.
You want to see it. You want to see how it.
I want to see what Sam Laporta's got.
I can see. So that one I think makes sense because, like you said, he's probably people's number 2 tight end.
Yeah.
Sit him. If he goes off in this game, then you know that for the next game, and you have 2 good tight ends probably.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I got one more sit.
All right.
Don't start either one of these defenses.
Yeah. No. I've got that right there. Sit defenses.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think you and I were talking about it before, and we think that this is going to be an offensive slugfest.
Yeah. I don't trust the defenses. I hope Nick Bolton gets 0 tackles.
Wow. Is it Dylan?
Dylan. Yeah.
Dylan's got.
I need that to not happen.
You just everything involving this game is Dylan
It's
related.
Dylan now. Yeah. Yeah.
But
sit the defenses.
Okay.
I think Jared Goff. The last time Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes played, when he was with the Rams.
With the Rams.
Granted, he was with the Rams,
that was
but
a good game.
what was it, 57-54, whatever the hell the score was.
That was like. Do you remember that game? With when Peyton played with the Denver Broncos and played against Dallas.
Yeah.
It was like one of those games.
Yeah. It was good.
So good. All right. Do you want to go over unders or do you want to say the score of the game?
We'll do score last.
Okay.
So we'll do over unders.
Here it is.
It's back. There it is.
Over unders.
You see it somewhere?
Right there.
Maybe. We'll see. Depends on if I'm lazy or not.
Yeah.
I got 3.
Only 3.
Only 3.
Okay.
Didn't want to get too crazy.
Is it because of what I sent you on the phone? Kind of
Yeah,
stole
that was a little
couple?
tough.
I got
But
you.
I think 3 per week will work out where we
Okay.
can, boom. We'll keep the records like we did last year.
Yeah.
Somewhere down at the bottom.
Javi.
Every whatever.
Javi's going to win it all again.
The son of a... All right. Speaking of offensive game,
Okay.
I had to make it different too because of what you did for your little pick'em thing.
I got you.
Total points, 57.5. Over or under?
57?
57.5.
Over.
Okay. Jared Goff interceptions.
Oh. Oh.
Over or under 1.5?
So you're asking me
Is he going to throw
2 interceptions or
one
no
interception
interceptions?
or 2 interceptions?
Ooh, that's tough because I've seen both I've seen both Jared Goffs where he looks like he's pin needle good. And then I've seen him look sloppy.
Yeah.
Against Kansas. You know what? Fuck it. Under.
I like it.
No interceptions for either one. I'll go out there and say
he can throw one.
For neither one. No interceptions.
For Patrick Orr?
No. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Doubling down.
Hot take.
Okay.
The last one.
I don't feel good about it. I don't know if I should have said that.
This one will be tougher too.
Okay.
Total field goals. Over or under 3.5 for both teams.
Not counting PATs.
No, not counting PATs. What are those called? PATs.
Okay.
Field goals. 3 points plus.
And you said over under
3.5. Less than 3 or more than 3.
You know what sucks? The score I picked, it's at 3. But if I had to choose, I'm gonna say under. I think. Yeah.
All right. So you got over 57.5 points, under 1.5 interceptions, and under 3.5 field goals.
Okay.
Locking it in?
I don't like any of those.
Locked in.
Yeah, let's lock
go.
it in. All right.
What a good segment. That's a
Those
good
were
segment.
good.
It's a good segment to bring. Got to make it hard, though,
Yeah, they were hard.
because we got to switch it up.
Can't believe I can see Jared Goff throwing 1 interception.
But can you see him throwing 2? Because 1
No.
would be fine.
But I've already doubled down. I don't think either one of them are going to throw an interception.
Yeah, you did double down. That's
I
true.
did.
Yeah.
I doubled down on
Doubled
it.
down.
Shit. All right. So, score and
Scores.
winner.
Yeah.
Score and winner.
Score and winners. I got a 35-31 score.
I don't have that, but it's really close. I have 34-31.
Nice.
But we don't have the same winner,
No, we do not, because I've got Kansas City still pulling it out.
which is, come on, everyone's going to pick
Kansas
Kansas City.
Right.
But if you want to win pick'ems,
You got to kind of do some different
you
stuff.
got to dip, dodge, dive, duck, and dodge, whatever the fucking thing
Right,
is.
there you go.
I'm picking Detroit.
Yep.
Let's be honest. Kansas City, they're going to go to the playoffs. They're probably going to be the number 1 seed. Patrick Mahomes is going to be MVP. They're that good. I'm not fucking worried about them. I think people just sleep onto Detroit. I think they have a really good team. And Kansas City just gets a little humbled, gets a little punch in the chin, and goes, oh, shit, Detroit's good. And I think that's what happens.
It could be when Kansas City played New England. 2017, whatever it was, opening game, and Kansas City just came out and
Yeah,
ramsacked them.
I do remember that.
Everyone was like,
Or
oh, New England's got this, and then here comes Kansas City.
Or when the Rams won the Super Bowl and they played the Bills.
Or when the Rams won the Super Bowl and they played the Bills.
What? When they won the Super Bowl and the
What is
next
this?
year, the opening Thursday
What
game.
is this, 2003?
That what? That was like
Oh, you're talking about last year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when the Rams and Bills won the Super Bowl. I was like, dude, that was like, you're living in the past.
No, I'm talking about when the
gotcha.
Rams won the Super Bowl
And then came out.
Opening
Gotcha.
game next
Okay.
season, Bills.
I'm tracking. That was just last year?
Okay. Yeah, it was.
See? I'm tracking.
But yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. And then Kansas City will fucking go undefeated for the rest of the fucking season.
Hope not.
I hope not either. They're so good.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike them, but they're getting mighty close to New England territory of. Although I guess the good thing about that is I like all of their players a lot better and their coach. So I guess I'm okay with it.
It's Andy Reid. He's okay.
I love Andy Reid.
I don't know.
Better than Bill
I'm okay to watch
Belichick.
them lose.
Overrated Bill Belichick.
Nope.
Yes. Can't win without Tom Brady.
He can.
What?
You
Did he?
You got to win a Super Bowl without. You don't got to win without him.
I think you do.
No.
To prove the
Tom
point.
Brady went to an already established team.
But did he win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, but he was quarterback away.
Would they have won the Super Bowl without Tom Brady? with any other quarterback.
Yeah, put Jameis Winston there. They would have won it.
See, now you're just saying things even though you know I'm right.
Nope. Baker Mayfield would have been there and won.
When's this You're so stupid. When's this episode coming out?
Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
It is Thursday morning. You're listening to this.
Good morning, Thursday morning-ers.
And then we'll also release one on Saturday.
We're going to try.
It's got to be out Saturday. That way people can still hear
Listen
it.
to our mediocre advice.
Right, exactly. Before Sunday's games.
Yes. And we'll go over Monday night's game as well. Right?
Yeah. That'll come out on the Tuesday.
What? Sure. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Thursday. Sorry.
Yeah, I was.
That'll come out on Thursday. I got my T's mixed up.
But, yeah. First Thursday night football preview episode of the season in the books.
We do have.
Oh, that 2 questions, right?
2 questions.
Okay.
Is there more than 2 questions? No, it's not. Laney says,
Okay.
what's your take on the 49ers giving up on Trey Lance and trading him to the Cowboys?
That's right. So
and keeping Sam Darnold.
It's funny because Laney has been very vocal / pissed at the 49ers for giving up Trey Lance, which to a certain degree I can understand. Why did you draft him? And then you see Brock Purdy, and then you keep Sam Darnold, and then you get rid of who you were saying was going to be your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. They knew they had Brock Purdy, and they knew they had value with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. It sucks, but get rid of him, and he's going to Dallas. I have a very sneaking suspicion that they're going to want to push Dak Prescott out of Dallas. I think this might be I don't know when his contract is up, but I think they want him out. It's one of those situations where it's like, okay, you haven't won a Super Bowl with this team that we have given you yet. You're getting the Ezekiel Elliott treatment. And if you don't win this season, you're out. Trey Lance is right there. No. I'm not going to say it's going to happen right off the bat, but I do think it's an overtime thing, and you're going to see Trey Lance start taking that job over within a year or two, I think.
I think Dak's fine.
I like Dak.
I think he's there. That's it. I think they just picked up Trey Lance. They picked him up for 4th. I think they just picked him up just to see.
Do you think Trey Lance hasn't been doing very well, like in the off season and like practice, and like that's why they got rid of him?
I bet you his attitude wasn't good
because of Brock Purdy.
When Brock Purdy came in and
but to lose the second string job to Sam Darnold.
Hey, I said Sam Darnold's a good quarterback.
You did say that.
He's not starting anywhere, but still,
it's interesting.
You spent all those picks on him,
yeah,
just to get rid of him.
Yeah,
but
you got lightning in a bottle with Brock Purdy.
I think Trey Lance is a fine backup in Dallas if they need one. I mean, they'll be fine. But if Brock Purdy's going to play like he did last year,
I love Brock Purdy.
Then having Sam Darnold means nothing, and then you get your value while you can for Trey Lance.
But do you think it would have been smarter for them? Do you think Trey Lance or Sam Darnold is better?
I like Sam Darnold, but
because he's younger by a year or 2, maybe 3. Wouldn't it have been smarter to just double down on Trey Lance and keep him and be like, hey, you're not going to start, but we want you to be a part of this organization like we promised?
Maybe he didn't want it.
So you think it's a Trey Lance thing? Like Trey Lance was like, hey, yeah, I came to play.
I think Trey Lance wanted out.
Okay.
At that point, once you get pushed to the 3rd seed,
yeah,
you want out.
That's the only thing that kind of surprised me was they put Darnold at the 2nd string, and that's when they pushed Lance out.
Yeah,
Lance out. Because to me, I think it makes more sense just to come out and say, well, he was value. We have Brock Purdy. Let's gain something for giving him to someone else. But instead, it's kind of this weird. He was 3rd/4th place on the freaking quarterback squad. And it's like, well, okay, well, what happened from last year to this year?
Maybe his accuracy's off.
I mean, he did get injured. Maybe he wasn't fully.
Something's off.
Maybe. But I think it will work out. I have a sneaking suspicion that Jerry Jones is getting tired of Dak Prescott not going to a Super Bowl. Push out the old, bring in a new.
Yeah. We'll see what they do.
Okay.
One more question from Tom, which this one we kind of discussed a little bit.
Okay.
Thoughts on who has a better year of the rookie QBs? I think we were both in.
Did we get into this?
We both kind of picked our rookie of the year.
That's true.
As Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
I think it's a close little competition between them. I think Anthony Richardson still ends up on top as far as
who do you think? CJ Stroud?
Better than CJ Stroud and
Bryce
Young.
I agree. Anthony Richardson, in my opinion, is the best out of those three in their current situation.
Yeah.
Who do you think of the other two comes closest to Anthony Richardson? Yeah. Ooh. You want me to say who I think it is?
Nope.
Oh.
So I got Anthony Richardson 1 and Bryce Young 2.
No.
Only because of his head coach.
Oh, Jesus. Who is it again?
Frank Reich.
Colts? Yeah.
I like him.
I do like
Working
Frank Reich.
with Frank over
whoever they have.
CJ's situation in Houston is awful.
So, I think CJ will do better than Bryce Young. I think you're going to see a slight turn in Houston where they're not going to win a lot of games. But you're going to see the offense switch it on a little bit more than they did the last year or two. And I think that's because of C.J. Stroud. I think Bryce Young is going to struggle.
Either way, I don't think any of these three quarterbacks have a winning season.
I think it's the Colts could. I really do.
It's tough. Depends on it depends on what Anthony does. I still don't think we get a winning season though. Still think we're looking at 4 or 5 wins.
I think the weapons are there to help Anthony Richardson. And like you said, like we've discussed, his attitude, like there's a good environment there now.
He wants it.
And it sounds like everyone's meshing, everyone's gelling, everyone's connecting. That helps on the field.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. I have high hopes for him, and I have high hopes for the Colts. And do I think they're good enough to be a playoff team? Not quite. But I do think they surprise a lot of people and kind of start pushing Tennessee out of the way a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee sucks.
Well, they always find themselves in the freaking fight for the number 2 spot.
Not anymore.
You think the Colts are going to be the number 2? No?
In the division this year, it'll probably be the Titans, but
I'll double down on that too. I think the Colts take the number 2 spot by a game.
Oh, so we're going to finish like
9-8.
9-8.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that 9-8.
You'll be happy with that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what we're doing though.
I think it's going to be close to that.
Tom, Anthony Richardson, best quarterback this year.
Does Tom like Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
Does he? Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
We're kind of on the same page with Anthony.
All right.
We like what he's bringing.
It's like another situation where people are sleeping on people or not taking them seriously, and I think Anthony Richardson has done the most work and the most gelling with his team to really come out and surprise people.
Good. Go ahead. Keep sleeping on him.
Yeah.
Talk to me in 5 years when he's holding up that Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, sleep on me.
Yeah.
What?
You heard it.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Richardson gets a Super Bowl trophy before Josh Allen. You heard it here first. Probably heard it somewhere else.
I've
Maybe.
heard it everywhere else.
Good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of questions I
Keep
like
them
to
coming.
answer.
Yeah, Javi didn't ask one this time. Weak.
Weak sauce.
No dad joke for you, Javi.
We need to get the questions from the people in the league. I'll answer them.
That's true. I'll answer him too.
They need to start watching and listening
Except
and asking questions.
The only people I won't answer questions for are Dylan, John, and Hopkins.
Because they're in your
Because they're
division.
in my division.
I'll answer them then.
Or
But
Thursday night preview.
yes, in the
We got a
books.
little bit of it. First game,
Yep.
Thursday.
It's gonna. Oh,
I'll stay up late to watch it.
absolutely.
You got to.
I'm not coming into work Friday.
That's what I'm talking. What?
What?
Hey, you heard it here first.
Follow us, like us,
Yep.
subscribe.
Check out the last video if you haven't. The live draft. It was fun.
Yeah, I gotten a lot of thumbs up on that. A couple people saying that you did a really good job of editing and it just showing little bits and pieces.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So, board.
Well,
The
two
sea-
guys, one fantasy.
Yeah, the season's here.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to Two Guys, One Fantasy Podcast. Please give us a like, a follow, a subscription on anything. Just look us up on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter at Two Guys, One Fantasy Podcast. Thanks.